Welcome inside Minji's Coliseum at Williams Arena for American Conference Basketball on ESPN tonight. Still a new season sizzle in the air as the East Carolina Pirates have their second game of the season. Tonight they face the Radford Highlanders out of the Big South Conference. The lights are out, but we are amped and ready to go. Hi everybody, Evan Lepler with Nate Ross. Great to have you with us. And a couple coaches, one's in his 7th year, one's in his 8th year. A lot of returning pieces on both teams, but some interesting new additions too, and right now the coaches is trying to figure out what they have.
I hope they're not as excited as I am. I hope they're a little more calm because I'm ready for college basketball season. But it's very early in the year. They're looking for the right combinations, and they're looking to get better each and every game before they get into their respective conferences.
Let's talk about a couple of juniors, one on each side, starting with Radford. Ed Polite Jr. led the Big South in rebounding a year ago.
He's a very good rebounder. He's a great offensive rebounder. He gets to the glass with regularity and effort. Look at the numbers there. The thing that impresses me is Coach Jones told us after shoot-around today, we don't run any plays for him. He gets you a double-double and they have no plays for him. He's the spark of this team, and he's a phenomenal guy on the glass. He's got to get there for Radford to be effective.
On the other side, both the Pirates and Isaac Fleming have waited a while to get this guy on the floor. The transfer from Hawaii, very explosive with great potential.
Yeah, you know East Carolina from Barkley and B.J. Tyson are going to get points. Isaac Fleming's the third guy in that cog. You're right, he sat out. He averaged about the same at Hawaii, but here he's more of a distributor as well as a scorer. Those are good numbers. He wants to improve on that. We talked to him yesterday after practice. He is fired up. He's tired of sitting on the bench.
He had 12 points on Sunday in his East Carolina debut. A 26-point win over Coppin State. Pretty good energy in this building right now for the first meeting between Radford and East Carolina since 2003.
I thought you meant me.
You're always excited wherever you go. Radford coming off a 10-point loss in Columbus, Ohio against Chris Holtman's Buckeyes on Sunday afternoon. It was a close game at the half. Then the Buckeyes went on a big run to start the second half. Radford came back late, got it to within a 10-point game. There's Mike Jones beginning his 7th season. He was an assistant under Shaka Smart at VCU, under Dennis Felton at Georgia. His dad, Jimmy Jones, was a superstar player in the ABA and the NBA. And Mike, going with the Nate Ross style, he's shaved the head clean in 2017.
We discussed that a little bit before practice.
Another guy who you could talk razors with. Jeff Lebo begins his 8th season. His 8th go-around with the Pirates. They won 15 games last year. They're trying to start 2-0 for the 3rd season in a row. Jabari Craig and Devontae Holland jump center. And the ball deflected out of bounds, and it will go to Radford. Highlanders beat Georgia Southwestern, non-Division I school, by 9 to start the season, and then lost at Ohio State. So Radford's 1-1. The Pirates looking to get to 2-0 tonight.
East Carolina will play mostly man-to-man. And that's how they start.
Donald Hicks takes the dribble handoff. Mike Jones has changed around his starting lineup a bunch so far early in the season. Justin Cousin buries the 3 to get the scoring started. Ed Polite Jr. coming off the bench tonight. So's Carleek Jones, who's been Radford's leading scorer through their first 2 games. B.J. Tyson lost the handle. Great hustle by Bradford, better hustle by Fleming.
Gotta love that early in the season. Get on the floor and go get a loose ball.
Shot clock down to 6. Fleming off the bracket, rebound Bradford. Radford looks to push.
Those teams want to play with a little pace. I would think that the Pirates of ECU want to push it a little more, especially at home. How long can you stay in your principles? All 30 seconds, or are you going to break down at the end?
Cousin made one from there before. Disrupted by Tyson's D. No foul call, and it's ECU ball.
Justin Cousins thought he got popped. He knew the shot clock was expiring. B.J. Tyson in his face, but no foul, and they're discussing it in the right corner of the court.
Justin Cousin, the veteran on this Radford team, the fifth-year senior, only player that's been on the roster each of the last 5 years. Would not go down for Fleming, but he stays with it. Out of bounds off ECU to Radford.
We had the privilege of doing a lot of East Carolina games last year, and we watched Isaac Fleming do exactly that in practice over and over and over against the first team, because essentially he was on the scout team sitting out. Just got to finish, but that was a heck of a move against 5 guys in a red shirt.
I thought you were going to say we watched him be really antsy on the bench every single game.
That too. I asked him, I said, what was that year like? Was it like 10 years? He goes, yeah, it kind of was until the season started. Then it went pretty quick.
Averaged 9.5 points per game in his 2 seasons at Hawaii. And he's back on the East Coast where he grew up.
East Carolina wants to take them out of their offense. If the Radford Highlanders can use that momentum against and go backdoor a couple times, they get some easy ones.
Radford's step back jumper is good.
That was not an easy one, but that was a heck of a basket.
5-0 start for the visitors from Radford, Virginia. ECU a 5-3 edge all time, but this is the first meeting in 14 years. Dmitrie Spazojevic gives it to Fleming. He'll take it to the rack for 2.
Fleming 6'3", 215. He just bumps you, you go away, and Christian Bradford just couldn't hang with him.
Cousin tees one up. Rebound tipped and controlled by Devontae Holland, and he stepped on the sideline.
Made a mistake by stepping out of bounds, but that's what Radford has to do. They have to get offensive rebounds because East Carolina's a little bit bigger.
Let's take a look at Nate's notes for the night. What are the keys for the Pirates?
If they establish the pace early, as we said, they're at home, the crowd's into it, they want to run, and they got to do what they didn't do right there. They got to board on both ends. They are bigger. That's a great cut.
Barkley lays it in. Pirates back within 1. On the other side of the ball, what you thinking about for Radford?
Well, they can't be polite. Ed Polite Jr.'s not in there, but when he's in there, they got to go to him early and often. He'll be in a lot, and they got to get back in transition because the 3 guards for the Pirates want to fly down the floor.
Bradford takes it, left it short. Rebound Jabari Craig, here comes Tyson. Rise and fire. Off the bracket, loose ball. Fleming on the floor again. Tried to call a timeout, and they call it a jump ball. They will not grant the timeout. Pirates do have the possession arrow though, and 27 on the timer.
We haven't played 4 minutes yet, and Isaac Fleming's been on the floor at least 3 times. As a former point guard in Coach Lebo and his current point guard, you got to love that. They're really good at out of bounds under. They try to score and they try to set a bunch of screens off the big guys.
It's been a high effort start for Fleming without a doubt. Spazojevic, the big fella from Serbia, lost it out of bounds.
That's a great move if you're on the block. Spazojevic was outside the block. Not a good idea, but he's a freshman. Very talented freshman.
You may be saying to yourself, wait, is that Kevin Love? His teammates call him K-Love because of the striking resemblance.
He does look like him.
To the Cleveland Cavaliers power forward. Both teams 2 of 5 from the floor to start. Inside, Holland puts it in.
Pretty good play over Jabari Craig. 6'10", 235.
Holland scored 2 points apiece in each of Radford's first 2 games. He's matched that in the first few minutes today. Tyson's 3 rims out. Spazojevic a hand on the rebound, but it bounces to Bradford. And Hicks called for the offensive foul. Pretty frenetic start. Both teams running and gunning. And Devontae Holland inside to give Radford a 7-4 lead. First half in Greenville. Welcome back inside Minji's Coliseum. Radford leads East Carolina 7-4. It's interesting, Nate. Early in the season, both coaches much more worried about themselves than the opponent. Yet at the same time, this would be a huge win for either one of these teams to get tonight.
Well, we said right in the open, they want to get better every game. And Coach Jones told us, I don't know who the best five are going to be. He's got Carlik Jones scoring like a crazy man. He hadn't started him, and he didn't start Ed Polite Jr. He's in there now. They're just trying to find matchups. And, of course, the number one goal is to win the basketball game.
Spazijevic ran the baseline, but it wasn't after a made basket. It was after an offensive foul. So that's a turnover and a learning moment for the freshman from Versace, Serbia.
Freshman mistake. Fouled out of the first game, only played 15 minutes. If you get 17, 20 minutes out of them because they want to play them, that's a plus. That's an improvement. You just want to get better every game, every day in practice.
Same five out there for Jeff Lebo. Meanwhile, Travis Fields Jr. running the point. Barkley gets a deflection. Ed Polite Jr. into the game for the first time for Radford as well. Jabari Craig, baseline up and under. Rebound Polite, his first of the night.
First of many, I would think.
Fields from the corner, way off, but the rebound tracked down by Hicks. On the block, the double comes. Holland needs a release. Still 13 to shoot for the Highlanders.
Carolina talks about it when the ball goes on the floor from a post man, go dig it out. That's exactly what they tried to do.
Fields to Polite.
It's not his game. Radford
0 for 2 from deep on the trip. Barkley on the attack. Rejected by Polite.
That is his game.
Here comes Carlik Jones. 34 points in Radford's first 2 games for the freshman from Cincinnati.
From the weak side, Ed Polite Jr. It's not his man. It's not his gym, but it's his basket. Get it out of here.
Fleming bumped by Fields. Tried to hand him the ball afterwards.
Yeah, that's a little Isaac Fleming thing. He gets under your skin, but you got to stay between him and the basket. He's going to try to penetrate every time he touches the basketball because, one, he can score, and two, he can dish it off as well and get the assist. So he's a very competent offensive player, and Tony Green just told him enough of that stuff.
Fields talking to Fleming. They're going back and forth right now. And A.J. Desai, Tony Green, and Nick Meyer are going to try to nip this in the bud.
You don't mess with Tony Green right there. He's been Final Fours. He's not going to stand for that kind of stuff.
I told Tony we should have driven together. He and I were both in Winston-Salem last night for Liberty's big upset over Wake Forest. Fleming to Craig. That's last touch, though, by Cousin. And a fresh shot clock for East Carolina.
Jabari Craig had a little issue last year finishing. He's got to try to dunk everything he touches in the lane. He'll get fouled more times than not and just go up with authority and intimidate the defense a little bit.
Craig's got great size, 6'10", 235. Thought it was really interesting what Jeff Lebo said, that the Pirates season could very well depend on Craig's ability to take his game to another level. Inside, the big fella. Good looking shot, but he couldn't finish.
That was a good shot. They practiced that over and over in practice today, a little jump hook.
Fields couldn't scoop it home, trying to take it right to Fleming. Here comes the Hawaii transfer. Barkley to the basket.
Isaac Fleming and Fields are going after each other physically and verbally. That's not going to continue. Somebody's going to stop it. Fields made the simple pass, not the fancy pass, the simple pass.
Holland doubled by Williams. Outlet for Jones. Polite, a quick touch for Fields, the Old Dominion transfer. Holland on the block, too strong, but Polite with a rebound, up and under, draws the foul. Tough matchup for the freshman Justin Watley against the Big South's rebounding king.
Tough matchup for anybody. Watch this. He's way out of the lane. The shot misses. He got fouled on that one. But he's a double-double machine, and they do not run a play for him yet. Coach Jones said they will later in the season. He just has a knack of knowing where the basketball is. Out of Duval High School, just out of the shadow of the University of Maryland.
Nate, I'm not sure if you saw it. As the players were lining up for the free throw, you saw Isaac Fleming bump shoulders purposefully with Travis Fields, and they both were grinning a little bit.
They've done it at least a half a dozen times already.
And it's early. 2 for 2 at the line for Ed Polite Jr., who was 67% from the stripe a year ago.
He's going to get fouled a lot because he's so active around the glass. A good free throw percentage does nothing but pad the stats for him and for his basketball team. Here comes full court.
Pirates just one of their last 7 from the floor. Barkley's make the only one. Fleming will try. Left it short. Rebound for Randy Phillips, who started every single game for Radford last year, coming off the bench tonight. Jones lost his footing. Ball somehow found Polite.
Fields wasn't really committed to that last 3. Kind of hesitated before he let it go. I think he's coming out because of it.
Polite goes right at Watley. May have gotten the foul on Craig. Beg your pardon, that's Usman Haruna. Just into the game, the junior transfer from Bismarck State.
Little head and shoulders fake, blew by Watley, and then
and they called it on Watley, so that's the second on Watley.
Big man came over to help. Watley got him. You can't let him live at the foul line because he'll accumulate a bunch of points there.
Radford has had a winning program most of the last 5 years under Mike Jones, but they went 14-18 last year, snapped a streak of 3 winning seasons in a row. Ed Polite Jr. leading up to the season said basically, look, we're going to have a winning season this year, trying to set that mindset immediately. That ball deflected, last touched by Radford. According to Nick Meyer, Tony Green will change the call.
Cross-court passes are deadly. He tried to throw a cross-court pass out of a trap. Highlander basketball. It's a big man's fault. He's got to come to the middle and ask for the ball against the trap. Worked on that in practice, too.
Watley still in the game with a couple fouls. And Phillips an easy 2 inside. Radford has doubled up the Pirates through 6 minutes. And that was a bad inbounding pass. It should have been picked off by Jones. Jeff Lebo's team catches a break. The timeout could not come at a better time for the Pirates, who are just one of their last 8 from the floor. Radford has led throughout the entirety of the first 8 minutes in Greenville. Radford doubling up, ECU 12-6. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. 5 different guys have scored so far for the Highlanders. They played balanced basketball.
They've played balanced basketball. They've attacked the basket. East Carolina has not made a free throw. They got 3 attempts. They've been settling. They stopped driving the basketball. They got to continue to do that. First, they got to beat the press. The press offense has to work. Radford's bothered them.
Neither team shooting great from the outside. Radford 1 of 5 from 3. ECU 0 of 3 from 3. And as you mentioned, the Pirates have not been to the free throw line yet. Justin Watley's going to stay in the game with 2 fouls. Jeff Lebo very high on this young man who grew up in Germany. Department of Defense family, moved to Oklahoma, played a couple years of high school basketball, then finished his career in Virginia. Not great numbers, but the coaching staff here at ECU really liked him. They said, we watched him, we know he can play.
Like 28 minutes in the opener. That's a lot of minutes for a freshman.
8.6 rebounds, 3 assists, kind of filled up the stat sheet in different ways. Shot clock down to 9. Tyson realizes it and lays it in with the left hand.
How many times have we watched that young man drive left? You just can't let him go left. He's going to blow by anybody and everybody that guards him. That's a great call from Coach Lebo at the bench.
Radford drives on Jackson to Fields for three. Travis Fields Jr. knocks it down.
Duke started that about 5-6 years ago. Baseline drive, baseline drift, wide open three.
Both teams worked on that exact pass in practice today. Sean Williams, everything but the bucket. Loose ball, Radford possession.
But last two possessions for Coach Lebo's team, what have they done? Drive it to the basket, a layup and a missed layup, but drive it to the basket. You know we talked about that in the timeout.
Caleb Tanner checks in for Radford. He's a gunner from the outside, made 71 threes a season ago.
Taking 8 shots this year, nowhere near the lane, all behind the line.
That's his game.
And he's very good at it. Jackson's got to know that. He's got a man-to-man.
39%, in fact, from beyond the arc last season. Carleek Jones on the attack. Blocked by East Carolina's Nigerian big man Haruna. At the other end, Williams. And it's Haruna on the follow.
The dude in Nigeria in the house. Blocks it at one end, tip at the other end. That's a great play for young man, junior college, first year in Division I basketball.
Sean Williams called for the foul. Check out this follow.
Haruna blocked the shot. That's a 94-foot sprint. High above the rim. Don't bring it back down. Just tip it in. That's a heck of a play for that young man. They need him to be productive in this league, and especially to get it going tonight.
With a quick shot, it was like he beat his box out down the floor.
And he blocked it at the other end. That's a 94-foot sprint. Bismarck State Junior College for a couple of years, averaged a double-double there. Boy, they love a double-double out of him in the American Athletic Conference.
Polite, acrobatic move, and into the body of Haruna, who can't believe the whistle. The foul is on Haruna.
Usman Haruna's thinking about the verticality, but Polite is so slick and quick in the lane. He's going to the line for 2 more. He's a very good basketball player when he gets in that painted area.
Radford has had some good rebounders, some great rebounders. Art Parakowski, Javante Green. No one in Radford history reached 500 boards during their sophomore year before Ed Polite Jr. did it last year.
He gets a lot of offensive boards as well. Best offensive rebounder in the league last year.
Polite is 5 of 6 from the line, and 1 quarter into this basketball game, it's Radford by 7. Bodies flying into one another. The fouls against the Highlanders.
Evan, that's the way you beat the press, though. A trap on one side. Listen to this. Trap on one side, get it to the middle. Get it over to your driver, Isaac Fleming.
They called it on Randy Phillips. Yeah, this looked like I was just standing here.
He caught the collision.
Tyson over to Williams. Fleming back in the game, pestered by Jones.
Tyson and Fleming, both lefties.
Williams, deep 3. Rounded out. Polite got a finger on it, which will give it back to the Pirates.
Talk about Isaac Fleming sitting out. That young man, Sean Williams, did the same thing. 55, sat out with Fleming last year. He's a redshirt freshman out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Fleming dribbled it off his foot. That's Radford ball.
He has a tendency to turn it over a little bit. That's his one flaw early in the, not even a game and a half so far. Game and a quarter so far.
Darius Bolstad into the game. He played just 4 minutes so far this season.
Big body.
Yes, indeed. 6'8", 240.
Muscle Haruna out of the lane.
Tanner, he's out there to shoot. That was halfway down. And Haruna could not save it. Goes as a team offensive rebound. So far, it's the 9th offensive rebound for the two teams combined.
Not good. They just called a technical foul, maybe on both of them. It's at least one on Fleming.
Fleming's been yapping the entire game. And it's just going against Fleming, it appears.
Jay Desai called it, and he's talking to Fleming. Fleming's talking to him. But you're right. They could have called it 4 times already tonight.
You wonder if receiving the technical will change his mentality. Free throw knocked in by Caleb Tanner at the line. He's got one more. But watching Fleming and Desai is much more gripping at the moment. 2 for 2 at the line for Caleb Tanner.
And of course, it's a personal foul as well.
That's his first.
Now, Tanner got open on that screen earlier. You always have rules about when to switch and when not to switch. You also have emergency situations. Tanner is an emergency situation. You can't just say, hope your teammate gets there.
Jeff Lebo just gave us a little facial expression of a pirate over there. Gritting his teeth.
He can live with a lot of Fleming's mistakes. He can't live with technicals, though.
One turnover deserves another. Polite leads the break. 3-on-1. Hicks. No. Polite. Yes.
He just knows when to be around the basket, and he's so explosive when he's there.
Radford up by 11. Tyson denied. Ballstad the rejection.
Right back to him.
Hicks takes it. Makes it. Timeout ECU. Nine straight points for the visiting Highlanders from Southwest Virginia. The team in red with all the momentum in the world.
I think Ed Polite Jr. has found a spot coming off the bench. He ignited them with that dunk, and they kept it going, up 14 early in the first half.
Radford on a 9-0 run, leading East Carolina 24-10. 8:29 to play in the first half. Nate, what has this Radford run been about in your mind?
Aggressiveness. Ed Polite Jr. more than anything else. He's played 7 minutes. He's got 7 points. He's 5 for 6 in the field. Excuse me, 5 for 6 in the line. He got to the free throw line. And that man brought him in off the bench. It's been effective. And the pressure. They haven't scored off their press, but they've really bothered the Pirates and gotten a couple turnovers out of it. They definitely stole the momentum. They shut this crowd up.
Isaac Fleming received a technical foul. Still out there with Tyson Barkley, Craig, and Spazajevic. This is the starting 5 for the Pirates, trailing by a couple touchdowns. Ooh, Craig inadvertently threw that ball off Tanner's head.
He tried to gather it and just lost it because he heard the whistle. But once again, after a timeout, go inside. After a timeout, go inside. That's what that man has told his team to do. It worked last time, and then it got away from him a little bit.
Good to see Jeff Lebo back on the bench. He returned to the sideline on Sunday for the first time in 300 days after he missed the last 14 games last year with hip surgery. Fleming was fouled on the floor. They call it on Radford, but no basket for ECU.
First thing I said to him when I walked in the gym is, Coach, how's the hip yesterday? He goes, I'm fine. He said, you need one? I said, no, thank you, I'm fine. But he was running around in practice. I told him I needed a brain transplant.
Does he offer everyone hip surgeries?
I guess they must have a really good doctor because he's feeling so much better. He said, absolutely no pain whatsoever.
3 would not fall for Barkley. Spazajevic resets the shot clock for the Pirates. Fleming to Craig, lost it. ECU ball, 20 in the shot clock. Devontae Holland back into the game, replacing Ballstad.
New rule this year, sets back to 20 if it's under after a defensive. That wasn't a foul, it was just a slap out of bounds.
frenetic possession here. Tyson underneath. Barkley on the baseline. Well done.
Well, 3 red shirts around Isaac Fleming, but he goes on the deck to get it and keeps the possession alive and got a bucket out of it. Great effort.
Long scoring drought for the Pirates. But they can't get a defensive rebound.
You can't let him have 2.
Tanner wide open.
That's unusual.
Spazajevic rebound. Here's Barkley in transition. Tanner the rebound. And he's fouled by Spazajevic. First foul on the Serbian.
You're down, you need something to spark you. 3 red jerseys around Fleming. He hangs in there. Tyson, Barkley, layup. Great play.
You notice who was on the floor again right there for the Pirates?
0, Isaac Fleming. He's been on the floor a lot.
Doesn't lack intensity, that guy.
Absolutely not. Or effort. And the tee didn't bother him. I mean, mentally didn't bother him by that effort.
Holland. Rebound finds Barkley. 12-point game, 6:43 to go first half. Watley back out there with 2 fouls. Fleming knocks in the 3.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a big-time crossover for 3. That's a heck of a play. Got the crowd into it.
Polite shows his crossover, and Watley picks up his 3rd foul. Watley's not going to make it 28 minutes today.
Nah, it's tough to keep up with MPLA Junior, but watch this. Crossover, the defender backs up, little step back 3, bingo, and lit the crowd up until that foul on the drive by MPLA Junior. That's a heck of a play by the junior transfer from Wilmington, Delaware, but played at Hawaii. He's going to live at the foul line all year long with his aggressiveness. Because he's quick, he's aggressive, and he wants to attack the basket. Yeah, you're right, Watley's in trouble early in this one.
Phillips replaces Holland. And here comes Travis Fields Jr. back into the ball game.
Both coaches like their depth at multiple positions early in the season. Rotations will probably dwindle a little as we get into conference play, but there you go. Spazajevic got a nice offensive board.
Polite now 6 of 8 from the stripe.
Demetriou seems to be in the right place at the right time a lot for a freshman.
We got high hopes for him. Tyson had it poked by Fields, recovers, can't finish.
Just not as effective on the right side as he is on the left.
Fields.
Be on Watley.
Watley might foul out before halftime. He's got 4 personal fouls. You ever seen a guy foul out before halftime?
You think I'd remember it if I did. I don't believe I have, but he's going to come out now. Phillips just kind of baited him in there and got his arm hooked around him. He'll learn.
Officially, he's played 4 minutes, and he picked up 4 fouls.
Sitting next to Kenny Potaznik, the assistant coach, that's exactly what he's telling me. You just got to learn. You got to know you have 3, and normally coach takes him out with 3.
Phillips well short. He was less than 50% from the line last year.
Barkley wanted to go all the way, just lost the handle. Man-to-man both ways, both teams so far.
Fleming gets to the basket.
It's like a layup drill. And he just blows by one man and there's no help. Fields Jr. got beat. It's a big stop if ECU can get it. Get this thing to a workable margin. Isaac Fleming just took a shoulder in the face.
Butts knocks in the 3. Leroy Butts the 4th. The freshman from DC who made the start tonight. Now he's got some points.
Randy Phillips, 240 pounds, just took Fleming's chin and stuck his shoulder into it. Nice pass.
Spazajevich for 2.
Nice pass, great catch by the freshman. Spazajevich has some skills. I like him as a freshman.
And the answer for Radford. Travis Fields Jr. now with 5 points. And the Pirates turn it over for the 6th time.
Normally ball goes off Nick Meyer, the official. It's in play, but Nick Meyer was standing out of bounds, so the ball's out of bounds. It's almost like the Pirates are trying to catch up 11 points in one possession. You can't do that. Piece by piece.
How about Leroy Butts making his Highlander debut in the starting lineup on the road at ECU, and he's played well. Jump ball, arrow belongs to Radford. 4:02 remaining first half. A first half that Radford has controlled.
Absolutely. Right there, number 32, Demetrius Spazajevich, got in the way there. Tried to draw the charge, but he stuck his nose in there. He's a tough kid. Played U16, U18 over in Europe. He's played a lot of international basketball. Trying to get used to NCAA basketball now. A little different.
Fleming gets a breather. There was a foul and a technical was called. Barkley and Hicks are getting into it now.
Foul's on, the technical's on Hicks. A.J. Desai pointed to Hicks first.
Tony Green, Nick Meyer, and A.J. Desai will sort this out.
We have pointed out how heated it has been, but you have to keep your composure, especially since Fleming already got the key. Watch number 5 in red.
Barkley throws a little push.
Second guy always gets caught. There's the one he gets caught on. And then he said something.
Well, if they're allowed to go back and look at this, and my guess is it'll be double technicals, one on each.
They can. The term is re-officiated, and that's what they can do, and that's what they're doing. Nick Meyer standing at half court. A.J. Desai and Tony Green are checking out the video.
Jeff Lebo with his healthy hip almost jumped through the roof when he first saw the whistle because Spazajevich was going for the steal, and he thought they were calling a foul on Spazajevich, and that was obviously not what the whistle was for.
He had the ball, was off the ball. And they will see B.J. Tyson, Kentrell Barkley with the first shove. And then obviously everybody else saw Donald Hicks with the second one. Watch the left elbow, the closest elbow to us as you're looking on the screen. 5 and 15. There's one, no call. There's another one, and
Come
now
on,
you're going to see
come on,
the call.
fellas. That's just both of them looking for something, right?
Yes, it is. I mean, the play's not to them. If sometimes you push off to get open, that's a lot of verbal stuff that happened, and that's the result of it.
Still sorting this out across the way. This game has had a testy feel pretty much right from the opening tip.
Agreed.
Two teams that haven't played in 14 years, so you wouldn't assume there'd be bad blood, but I think it just shows how much both teams want this particular game.
Well, now it's a housekeeping issue. They made the call. Now they're just making sure they got the book correct, who it's on. Of course, 2 technicals, you're ejected from the game.
A flagrant one on Hicks. If that's the only call, I'll be surprised.
There is a flagrant one on number 5, Donald Hicks, his second, team 6. There is a technical foul on the 15, Kentrell Barkley.
Also teed on Bartley.
And that's from looking at the video. Personal foul that is deemed excessive in nature and or unnecessary, but not based solely on the severity of the act. That's a flagrant one.
I've seen much more legitimate flagrant ones than that, but
true.
It balances out.
And we don't shoot. We don't believe.
What a game. Watley has 4 fouls in 4 minutes.
That's the new look, Kentrell Barkley.
The the Pirates have 2 technicals in 16 minutes.
That's true. And the freshman Justin Watley almost fouled out in the first half. Other than that, not much going on.
Ed Polite Jr.'s got 8 points on just 2 field goal attempts.
A double technical you don't shoot. This is technically not a double technical because of the flagrant.
So Hicks will go to the line. AJ Desai confirming with us the situation, which we very much appreciate. I think we were on top of it though. 2 for 2 at the line for Hicks, and now 2 free throws for Barkley.
AJ Desai just come over and explained to me the first foul was a live ball foul. The second one wasn't. That's why we're shooting at both ends. If it would have been a double technical, you don't shoot either of them. But that's the reason. And we heard you correctly heard said what the PA guy said. It's a flagrant 1 and then a technical foul on Kentrell Barkley.
Both teams make a pair from the line.
So the margin's the same.
If I had to ask you, yes or no, do we see another technical foul in this game? What do you think?
Yes. I believe so.
We'll see. Don't go away. It's Spazajevich with Barkley, Craig, Williams, and Tyson. Radford shows the full court pressure. Here's Barkley with a full head of steam. No whistle. Polite comes up with a loose ball.
Neither team's going to let down. They're both going to stay intense. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Carlik Jones knocks in the 3.
That was from the suburbs of Greenville. Man, that was deep.
It was deep. He was also open, and he can make that shot. He's now 7 for 10 from 3 on the season.
Oh, Seth Curry deep.
That's 70%.
One team's either going to get back in this thing or blow them out in the next 3 and change. We're going to see what happens.
Polite got Williams on the wrist. His first. And we'll get ourselves a timeout. Catch our breaths with 3:17 to play. Carlik Jones, young man from Cincinnati, has been so good for Radford early in November. East Carolina trailing Radford 35-21. The Pirates have been behind wire to wire, fell behind 5-zip, and have never led. They were behind 5-0, got it back within 1 at 5-4, 7-6. And then the lead swelled to as many as 14, which is what it currently sits at. Pirates will get 1-1 at the line out of the timeout.
East Carolina does not have a ton of turnovers. They only have 6 so far, but Radford has 10 points off those turnovers. That's huge. That's really being efficient. When the other team makes a mistake, make them pay for it. Highlander's done a good job of that so far.
Sean Williams at the line, shooting 1-1. Doesn't it look like Kentrell Barkley just gave Sean Williams his hair?
It does. Kentrell Barkley doesn't have any of those locks anymore. Williams had them last year, just not quite as long. They got it. Every free throw, you know, you always talk about, well, in the last 2 minutes you got to make free throws. No, you got to make them all when you're down by this much, with this much time left in the first half. Get into this lead, feel good about yourselves. Keep walking in that locker room at halftime. Locked down at this end.
First 2 points for Williams. Pirates are 4 for 4 from the line. Highlanders are 10 of 13. The difference is a dozen. Jones called for the carry. Good call. Each team now with 6 turnovers.
You saw Jabari Craig come over there to help on the screen. And when he did, Carlik Jones kind of tried to do a hesitation dribble, but turned it over. Now let's see if the Pirates can turn this turnover into 2 points.
Williams pestered by Fields. backdoor. Tyson for 2.
You stare at the basketball in a red shirt, B.J. Tyson will burn you backdoor.
Second bucket for Tyson. Fields draws the foul on Williams. That's number 2 on Sean Williams.
Watch the defense. Stare at the ball. You can see back to the ball. It's too late. It happened to be Carly Jones, and B.J. Tyson blows by him for a layup. Nice pass from Williams. Fields got bailed out. That shot was not going in. And the foul puts him at the line for a couple.
You know, one of the reasons that Radford struggled to an 8-10 conference finish and a 14-18 record last year was because their point guard, Devin Cooper, tore his ACL late November against Mercer. And they played all last season, Mike Jones says, basically without a true point guard. Christian Bradford switched over, did the best he could, but they didn't have that guy. Now with Travis Fields Jr., they feel like they have a true point guard that can be the quarterback and the calming influence for this Radford team.
And not only you don't have a point guard, but every team you play knows you don't have a point guard and traps and bothers and pressures and makes somebody else do a job they're not used to doing.
Jabari Craig.
Until he does that consistently, teams are going to leave him open. That was a good 15-foot J. Get it to single digits. That's your goal if you've got a white shirt on. Of course, if you're Radford, you want to bump it up to double digits higher than it is right now.
Under 2 minutes to play, first half. Polite on the drive, hits Phillips, who draws the foul on Spazajevic. And now for ECU, you have Watley, who has 4. Williams and Spazajevic each have 2 apiece.
Well, Spazajevic is going to see this in the tape tomorrow. Jabari Craig had Phillips guarded. He was between Phillips and the basket. He would have had to shoot over Jabari Craig. And Spazajevic just heard that from Coach Lebo, reaches in with his arm and makes a foolish foul. And you see Spazajevic shaking his head like, that was a dumb move. I know it was. He's talented and he'll learn. Because they're going to need him in the American. They're going to need him a lot. So they're going to need him the rest of this one.
Jones gets a breather. Meanwhile, Randy Phillips, his teammates call him Pop, and they would love for Pop to work on his free throws. He's now 0 for 3. Barkley, cross court for Tyson. He'll rise and fire. Rebound bounces around, finds Fleming. Barkley fakes it, takes it. Well short. And on the offensive glass, B.J. Tyson will get to the line.
Well, one of my keys was outstanding effort on the glass at both ends for East Carolina. They have not done that to the last couple possessions. Who keeps it alive again? Isaac Fleming kept it alive and got B.J. Tyson with the basketball, and then he got fouled. They've got to do that. You've got to crawl back in this thing, score points at the line without the clock running.
Second personal foul on Bradford. Hicks also has 2 for Radford. Here comes Holland and Tanner back in, along with Aaron Jackson's first appearance.
Yeah, you don't want Spazajevic to get that third one if possible. So AJ comes in.
Aaron Jackson, transfer from Akron, graduate student here.
Right, there it is, under double digits. Now you got to have a stop. Guys in the red shirts want to bump it up with a three-point play. Maybe Ed Polite Jr. getting fouled and going to the line.
Tanner passes up the look.
That's a good call.
Number 2 on Ed Polite Jr. It's a big call.
Yep. The man coming off the screen didn't get close enough to Ed Polite. That man being Travis Fields Jr. And Polite had to pivot to give him the ball. That's a moving screen.
Leroy Butts, the 4th, replaces Polite probably for the final 72 seconds of the half.
It's Polite's foul, but it's not Polite's fault.
Tyson to the corner. Jackson. Tip follow wouldn't go for Barkley. Fleming lost it. Craig scooped it up, popped it in the air. Radford emerges. Here comes Fields. Under a minute to go, first half, Radford by 9. Radford draws the foul on Barkley, and that's the second on Kentrell Barkley. Remember, the first was the technical.
Really quick crossover right there, and Barkley stands up. You get out of your stance, you can't move, you get the foul called on. You got to stay. It's hard to do, but you have to stay in the stance. More importantly, he's putting Radford in the line.
KJ Davis, the freshman from Portsmouth, Virginia, into the game for the first time for the Pirates. Meanwhile, Tanner goes back out. Carleek Jones is in, and here comes Randy Phillips as well, but he won't get in the game because of the missed free throw. 2 misses at the line for Bradford. Bradford has now missed 7 first half free throws. Lead could be even wider. Tyson for 2.
Nice little runner. Had a mismatch, took advantage of it.
Shot clock is off. Radford has a use it or lose it timeout if they want.
Carleek Jones is going to go one-on-one against B.J. Tyson. It's a heck of a matchup. No screen.
Jones, deep 3, air ball. 5 straight points from East Carolina heading into the locker room, and they're back within 7. Radford loses the timeout they didn't take.
They wanted that kind of momentum shift. They got it. Now they got to keep going. Radford wants to bump it back up.
7 points apiece for Fleming and Tyson. Barkley's got 8. But 11 different Highlanders scored in that first half for the visitors from Virginia, who lead by 7 at the break. (37-30), Radford leads East Carolina at the half. I misspoke right before the break. 11 different Highlanders have played. 10 different guys have scored. None of them are in double figures, but the balance has been impressive. 7 points is the difference, but it was 14, so ECU has cut the deficit down. We'll take a quick timeout. Special guest joins us courtside when we return to Minji's Coliseum here in Greenville on American Conference Basketball. Welcome back inside Minji's Coliseum. At halftime, Radford leads East Carolina 37-30, and we're very delighted to be joined by the new Senior Associate Athletic Director and leader of the Pirate Club, Philip Wood. Philip, you are a recent transplant from Raleigh, a long time at NC State, and now you are here in Pirate Country. What has the transition been like for you?
It's been unbelievable, Evan. So I officially became a Pirate July 21st at 7:51 in the morning when Jeff Comfer gave me the phone call that I was hoping for. And he asked a simple question: do you want to be a Pirate?
Did he wake you up, or were you already awake?
No, actually, I hung up on a colleague of mine when I saw that his number was coming in.
That sounds like a good decision. He's your new boss. But what has it been like integrating yourself into this community? Obviously one that's pretty darn passionate.
It is, and you know, Evan, being very familiar with the school has helped with the transition, only being an hour and a half away, and understanding the passion that this place has, the rich tradition, is really something that excited me about coming here. And everything that I thought it was, it certainly has lived up to it.
You've got a lot of responsibilities, wide array, but one of them is helping to oversee the new facilities renovations at the football stadium. What can you tell us about the new developments?
Very exciting. We've already embarked on raising $60 million for a new Southside Stadium renovation at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Bagwell Field. We're set to actually break ground as soon as football season's over this season. The completion date is set for June of 2019, and it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be a great asset, obviously, to our football program, our game game day experience, but it's going to be a great asset for our entire university.
You know, you spent a lot of time in Raleigh, and I know you're not going to badmouth the Wolfpack fans, but what's the difference, if there is one, in terms of the spirits and mentalities of the different fan bases, both tremendous fan bases in the state of North Carolina?
Well, I think they're both very similar. Tremendous passion, supporting their teams no matter what. You know, just seeing here tonight, you know, great turnout here at Minges Coliseum. You know, everyone wants to be a winner here, and we all walk around with a chip on our shoulder, wanting to strive for the best, and certainly not going to settle for it until we get there.
This is your second basketball game with ECU. What are your thoughts on the Minges Maniacs behind us?
Love it. Great atmosphere, unbelievable passion. These guys are great, and certainly plan on them leading us to victory here tonight.
You may not realize a year ago the Maniacs were across the way on the other side. It totally changes things for us sitting here courtside. It feels like they're on top of us, and frankly, I love it. It's fantastic.
I think they are on top of you.
Yeah, it's great. Philip Wood, great to meet you. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Go Pirates.
The new Senior Associate Athletic Director here at ECU. Pirates have some work to do, though, trailing by 7 at the half. Nate Ross rejoins me with first half stats and highlights in just a moment. It's Radford in front, 37-30. It's great to welcome you back courtside inside Minges Coliseum. Evan Lepler with Nate Ross. He's been smiling consistently for the last 2 weeks because of the hole-in-one he had, his first career hole-in-one a couple weeks ago. Tonight you're smiling because you're watching basketball again courtside. What do you think of that first half?
Golf season's over. Radford really delivered a punch. They played Junior off the bench, and he was a spark that gave them the lead. They started from deep early in the basketball game. They continued a nice pass out. That's Fields from the corner. Hicks comes down and jacks one from the left side as well. And then Butts, who you don't expect when a defender falls down, hits one against Fleming. East Carolina didn't do much in the beginning of the half and came back. There's Kentrell Barkley on a nice cut. B.J. Tyson with a great pass for an easy one to the freshman. And then lastly, Tyson again on the back cut. Tyson, Barkley, and Fleming have 22 to 30 points. That's 73% of their points. They need points from somebody else.
Can East Carolina overcome the 14-point deficit and get a win at home? We'll find out. Second half, 2 minutes away. We're ready for basketball. East Carolina will have possession. Starting 5 out there for the Pirates. Ed Polite Jr. didn't start the game, but he's out there to begin the second half for the Highlanders.
He will finish the game.
Assuming the foul count permits him to. A.J. Desai called a foul there, and it's going against Radford.
B.J. Tyson made a great cut.
I think they got it on Cousins.
Jevic tried to hit him on the gut, and he kind of shoved him and reached out to get the ball. See if they continue to go inside to establish something. They're cutting hard.
It's Craig backing down on Phillips for 2.
It's an impossible shot to stop. A jump hook from inside the restricted arc. It's just you got to get it there, and he did. It's an easy shot. It's a 2-foot jump hook.
Dating back to the end of the first half, ECU now on an 11-2 run.
He drives me nuts. That's the first bucket again. They probably won't go to him again the whole half. They need to keep doing it.
Shot clock's down to 7. Polite sees it. Cousin recognizes. Polite will take it. Rebound tipped and controlled by Craig.
Basket, stop, basket. That's what you want when you're behind.
Fleming inside, Spazajevic to Tyson. And a good block out by Phillips, but they got him for the foul.
Well, it's all about displacement. We'll talk about that in a moment. But there's the numbers. It's pretty even, except for the bench points. Radford's played a lot of people, and look at the points in the paint. That's why I said keep going inside.
Randy Phillips was in disbelief, just picked up his second personal.
Tyson had position, and he got displaced. That's what it's all about. It's displacement, and you got to call the first foul. That's a point of emphasis.
They go back to Craig. He missed the bunny. Traveling violation.
People always ask, why is that a travel? Because the rule says it is. You didn't move any feet. When you go from the ground up or from up to the ground, it's a travel. It just is.
Tough trip for Phillips.
Yep.
Barkley to Fleming from the corner. East Carolina missed a couple good looks.
We got the bucket in the stop, and they couldn't convert. You are correct. Another stop. Radford's trying to bump the lead up a little bit.
Highlanders out of the Big South Conference. Hicks from the foul line. In and out. Pazajevic the rebound.
Hicks got a great crossover move.
Tyson. Like an instant replay of the miss at the other end. Craig hustling for the rebound. Could not hang on, and it finds Phillips.
Boy, Jabari Craig had it, just got slapped out of his hand. Somebody's going to get hot here with a couple 3 buckets and take a lead or extend a lead.
Radford down to 9 on the shot clock. Cousin down to 3. Inside. Excellent defense. Caught the rim though. Radford with a fresh shot clock. 3 in and out for Hicks. Fleming lost it. Recovered. Backdoor for Tyson. Rejected by Bradford. Pirates ball underneath.
A lot of action. No points, but a lot of action. Radford's having trouble getting an early look, hence the shot clock's going down to single digits, and they have to force something they don't want. That's because of really good first 18 to 25 seconds of great defense by ECU.
2 teams combined are 1 for 10 here in the second half.
I don't know if that's all offense. It's really good defense on both ends.
Barkley down the alley. Ooh, foul called.
Well, I would think that Coach Lebo on the whiteboard in that locker room put on there, get in the paint. That's how they got back into the lead. And this is one of the best there is. Barkley goes up and under, uses the rim for a screen. Gets popped from behind by Hollins. Going to go to the line for a couple.
Barkley, the Pirates' leading scorer last year, 13 a game. Also the leading rebounder, 7.5 per game. Up both those numbers from his freshman year. They were 10 and 6 2 years ago. He took more of a scoring responsibility last year when B.J. Tyson got hurt.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see how the points shake out between Barkley, Tyson, and then you mix in Fleming, and then perhaps the 4th wild card. We're not sure who that's going to be. There's a nice catch and score by Christian Bradford. Tough shot.
Yeah, Fleming just got beat on a back screen and got burned a little bit. Nice elevation for the easy bucket.
Barkley off the bracket. Cousin ahead, intercepted by Barkley.
Great play, great hustle. Don't pout when you miss a 3. Get back on defense. What a move.
Tyson going to the line.
We always used to talk last year about the amazing motor that 15 Kentrell Barkley had for 2 years. He showed it right there. He missed a 3, got back on defense, got the ball. This man's going to the line.
Tyson, now a senior, turned 23 in October.
First half, it was all about Ed Polite Jr. getting to the line and giving his team a lead. Now multiple players from East Carolina attacking the basket and getting to the line and cutting into this lead. One more and it's a 1-possession game.
Jabari Craig back in after a quick couple of minutes for Haruna.
Got a little tutoring over there from head coach Jeff Lebo about rebounding and getting your elbows out. Holding on to the ball.
Would you qualify that as aggressive counseling, or is that not too aggressive?
Not yet.
Not yet?
It wasn't Skip Prosser aggressive counseling yet. The great late Skip Prosser. It was suggestions.
Polite. Outside Fields. Radford now 1 of 6 from the floor since halftime. And ECU's got all the momentum, but they wave it off. It's an offensive foul against the Pirates. Jeff Lebo is livid. Lebo staring down Nick Meyer. Barkley's been a difference maker to start the second half. But wave off the basket there. ECU trailed by as many as 14. They're back within 3.
We talk about a great motor by the junior Kentrell Barkley. Watch the bottom of your screen. Number 15 goes up in traffic, gets a great rebound. And he was a point guard last year at times. He flies down the floor. Great pass to Tyson, but the foul's on Barkley. You can see right there, he bowls over the defender who is easily outside the restricted area. They take away the basket, but the momentum is starting to come to the home team and more importantly to the home crowd.
Nearly a 7-10 split with the bowling pin tumbling down, 2 per side. So the foul went on Barkley, as you said. It was his 3rd personal. And remember, the first of the 3 was a technical. 2 technicals assessed to the Pirates in the first half. One on Fleming, one on Barkley. Also a flagrant foul that went on Hicks.
Kentrell Barkley just walked over and shook his head like, there's no way, man. There's no way talking to me. Pirates got to keep up this intensity in the first 20 seconds of the shot clock. They have not given Radford a look.
That's a reach-in foul on Fleming.
Called him for the 3rd foul. Bumped him a couple times.
He did get away with 2 before they called it.
You got him where you want him. He can't make a good pass. Just stay there. And that cylinder rule takes effect. If the offensive player would have thrown him an elbow, it would have been a defensive foul, but they called it on Fleming before that.
Number 2 on Fleming.
Intensity early in the clock. Radford's got to attack early in the clock and try to break this intensity. So far, they've not been able to do it.
Inside Ballstad. Polite on the follow and the foul. Spazajevic got him from behind.
We have watched 24 in white. At play, junior, watch. He gives the ball up. Watch 24 in red. He just has a knack for getting around the basket. Spazajevic bumps him from behind. Excellent call. Bucket's good. 3-point play opportunity.
Polite into double figures. He's got 11, which makes him the game's high scorer at the moment. And the 3-point play doubles Radford's lead.
He's 4 away from a double-double. He's got 6 boards.
Craig, baseline. He's fouled by Ballstad.
I like Jabari Craig looking to score more. If he can do that a couple times, it'll get his confidence up. It draws the big guy from the other team out, Ballstad in this case. And Jabari Craig's a decent shooter. We saw him hit an elbow jumper from 15.
I love the look on guys' faces when they take the foul call so personally.
Me?
And I understand it. I would take it personally too. If you don't think you fouled him and they called it on you, it's the mental discipline that it requires to accept it and move on. It's hard because there are bad calls in every game.
Sure.
Refs are working hard. They miss them. They go against you. It's how you respond. It's fascinating to watch up close.
And when the same guy cries over and over and over, officials don't like that. They're not going to make a call against you, but they don't like that. When I was coaching in a high school in New Jersey, there used to be one coach that would tell the officials, and the great George Glimfick at Eau Claire High School in Columbia, every time a foul's called on you, you pat the ref on the butt and say, "Nice call, sir." He would make his kids do that.
Sure got him some calls as well.
Absolutely. Little flex cut.
Polite rejected by Craig. Fleming to Tyson.
I'm telling you, that blocks because of confidence at the other end by Craig.
Tyson into double figures with 11. Polite off the glass this time for 2. It's a big bucket there by Polite.
Spazajevic can't handle that play, Junior, and it shut the crowd down. That's a huge bucket.
Fleming, Spazajevic. to nobody.
He was passing that Jabari Craig before he wasn't ready. They haven't played together for one and a half games. They'll get used to each other.
Craig's a senior, his second year with the Pirate program, and he didn't play much last year, just 8 minutes a game.
It's the best I've seen Jabari Craig look in all the games we did last year, and obviously the first one this year.
When you just look at him, you're like, man, that guy looks like he should be a player. Long, athletic.
It's all about confidence.
Sure is.
And you reach a point any time in your senior year when you realize this is it. I'm not getting another shot at this college basketball thing.
Taking some time to do some mopping maintenance near the Radford bench. This place is not packed, but it is one heck of a college basketball atmosphere.
Low ceiling, really loud. We're not playing, folks, and listen to them. The other thing about Jabari Craig, he hasn't had a foul yet. He's playing very smart, and that's why he's staying on the floor. This is great. Great experience for the Radford kids to be in a tough situation like this. See what happens.
This is your happy place, right?
Oh, there's no question about it.
Glad to have you with us, Evan Leffler, Nate Ross from Minges Coliseum in Greenville.
My happiest place.
Pirates looking to start 2-0 for the third consecutive season. Radford looking for a big road win. Polite for three. No good. Hicks on the glass. Triple teamed. Tied up. It'll be Radford ball. The arrow belongs to the visitors.
I don't know if it's by design, Evan, but if the best shot, if you're East Carolina, you want to see the guys in a red shirt take is an Ed Polite three.
Polite,
you want him far from the basket.
A year ago, he was just 5 for 23 from beyond the arc. That's not his game, as you said.
He might go get the offensive rebound when he misses, but you're right, it's not.
Aaron Jackson into the game, replacing Dmitry Spazajevich. Jackson's played just 3 minutes so far. Oh, and Jackson got beat by Polite off the baseline inbound. And they teed up Polite for the emphatic hang on the rim.
Yeah, you're allowed to hang if there's somebody under you that might cause an injury. There wasn't any, and Tony Green called it. Good call.
That's the third personal on Polite, in addition to being a technical. And you were right when I asked you before, would we see another tee?
I didn't think it would be on Ed Polite Jr. He keeps his cool pretty well. But this play, I'm telling you, the crowd got Radford fired up. A little extra emphasis on the dunk, and it cost him. You need Ed Polite Jr. on the floor. You don't need him in foul trouble late. You definitely don't need him fouling out late if you're a Radford fan and you're Mike Jones, the coach.
Williams makes a pair. Back to a 4-point game. Pirate ball with Fleming, Tyson, Jackson, Williams, and Craig. Radford defending with Bradford, Hicks, Polite, Jones, and Phillips. Backdoor Tyson. Pirates within 2.
He's so much better on the left side of the floor. And Fleming found him numerous times so far tonight.
Jones tried to split the double team. And there's a bump on the baseline, and Williams picks up his third personal.
That's the best way to beat a double team, is split it. Mark Price, the now coach of the Charlotte 49ers, was phenomenal out of the Georgia Tech. That's how you break it.
You see Tanner back in the ball game. Look out for him beyond the arc. Polite Jr. over to Bradford. Tanner flips it inside. Phillips guarded by Craig. To Tanner, straight away, buckets.
B.J. Tyson forgot about him for a split second because the ball went in the post. You can't do that.
That's all it takes. Tanner averaging 8 a game so far this year. He's got 5 tonight off the bench. Craig inside.
Fun to watch.
Nice job getting back there by Tyson, preventing Tanner with another easy look. Tanner off the dribble, kicks it. Radford straight away, way off. Pirate ball.
DJ Tyson that time, you got to run Tanner off the three-point line. If he drives by you, that's fine. That's not what he wants to do. Every shot this year has been a 3 so far. You got a fun basketball game, sir.
The difference is 3, 12.5 to play. Fleming, falling out of bounds, finds Tyson. Williams for the tie. .49 all. First tie of the game. Jones can't connect. Tyson the other way. Fleming thought about it.
So you gotta be a smart point guard. Run a great set, get a great shot. You just got the momentum back. Now you're trying to get the lead.
Pirates have trailed by as many as 14. Fleming can't finish. Rebound Phillips. Fleming's down. Radford has 5 on 4 if they hurry. Tanner with a hand in his face. No. Williams the other way.
Smart move. No advantage. Don't take a dumb shot.
We've reached a calm for the moment. Offensive foul on Fleming. That's his 3rd. One of which was a dink. There have been 3 technicals and 1 flagrant in the game. And we are all square thanks to the Sean Williams triple. 11:06 to play. 49 all in Greenville. East Carolina not having a great shooting night. The Williams 3 that just tied it up, only the 2nd Pirates triple of the game. But if it's not working outside, it's working inside. 28-14 is ECU's edge in the paint.
Jabari Craig is doing his thing inside at both ends. He's a little bit of an intimidation factor when Radford hesitating a touch to go inside. When they get it to him down inside, he can score, and they've got great cuts on back doors for layup after layup from BJ Tyson and company. Great atmosphere. 11:07 to decide a winner. Not a bad one for the first one of the year for us together.
Good to be back with you, partner.
Absolutely, this is fun.
Radford pestered by Williams.
You know they talked about Caleb Tanner in the ECU timeout. There you go, get in his face. He stretches the D a little bit, but you can't leave him open. He's too good a shooter.
5 to shoot. Jones draws the foul. I was chatting with the voice of the Highlanders, Rick Watson, earlier today, and he was telling me about the impressive thing when it comes to Carlake Jones. He's not that quick, he's not that fast, and yet he has a knack for getting to the basket.
A little shot fake, and he got Isaac Fleming up in the air. And I like what Coach Jones told us about how hard this kid worked last year in a redshirt situation. And he thought he'd be this good. He didn't practice all year last year, and he's doing it right now for his basketball team.
From Cincinnati originally, had about 100 people in the stands cheering for him at Ohio State. This past Sunday, a 10-point loss for Radford.
Yeah, they played well up there. That's tough. You think this is a tough atmosphere? Go up to Ohio State and try to play.
2 for 2 at the line for Jones. Averaging 17 a game. He's got just 5 so far today. but the lead is back to 2. Williams stared down by Tanner. Tyson. Now Fleming, back to Williams. Deep 3. Got it! First lead of the night for the Pirates.
Sean Williams, quick release, loves that right side. That was a little right of center.
Tanner, unable to answer, but Holland on the glass, lost it. Kept it alive. Radford resets.
He ran Caleb Tanner off a down screen, and ECU got stuck on the screen. You got to communicate, and if you got to switch, you got to switch. You can't leave them open.
Jones finds Holland. Nice pass.
Defense, little miscommunication. Great cut, great finish for the Highlanders and Devontae Holland.
Lead changes back into the Radford advantage by 1 point. Fleming lost it. Holland fouled by Fleming. Number 4 on the transfer from Hawaii.
I think Fleming trying to do a little too much, a little too quickly. He drove it right into the defense. Barkley was on, I was wondering where he came from. There's an exercise bicycle at the end of the ECU bench, and he was on that. Coach said, get off the bike, get back in the game.
Staying loose, staying warm.
Remember he used to wear those long leggings last year to keep. He might have cramping issues or just doesn't like to sit. Williams takes over the point guard responsibilities.
17th foul on ECU.
With Fleming's on the bench.
1-1 for Holland. Pirates ball.
Not an unusual sight. PJ Tyson ran the point a lot last year for this basketball team.
Barkley, baseline to the corner for Jackson for 3.
I believe you said something about ECU didn't shoot well from 3 in the first half. That has changed.
Tony Green spotted something that he didn't like.
Inside, both post players.
Fouls going against Jabari Craig. His second.
He's battling inside with Holland. He just grabbed him. But you can't say something to Tony Green. You just can't do it. He's been there, done that too many times in too many big games. And there have been a few technicals called tonight.
Another 1-1 for Devontae Holland. Those are just painful misses. The 9th free throw miss of the night for Radford, including a pair of front ends of the 1-1. Jackson passed up the 3, goes to the basket, and Holland has the rebound.
It's a good job by Polite Jr. not to foul, just go up straight up.
Tanner doesn't take many 2s, but he gets that one to go. We're tied at 55, 8:15 to play.
Phil Delane got a great bucket. Coach Jones yelling, talk, talk, talk. Don't make a mistake on defense.
Polite with a deflection. Pirates ball, 15 to shoot. Here comes Hicks and Phillips back in for Mike Jones, replacing Tanner and Holland.
Conditioning, both teams neither team looks tired. Let me rephrase that. But conditioning might be a factor late because this has been a very intense basketball game. We got a long way to go.
Neither coach has used a timeout since halftime, so both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Under 8 to play. Shot clock at 5, at 4, at 3. Barkley for 3! Wow, what a second half this has been. Pirates with 4 threes since halftime. Foul goes against Jabari Craig inside again. The bad news for ECU is that's the third foul on Craig. The good news is Radford's Randy Phillips has a 1-and-1. He's not a good free throw shooter either. How about the Pirates perimeter shooting? Barkley gives ECU a 3-point lead. 7:30 to go in Greenville. We've got a great finish brewing here in Greenville. The Minji's Maniacs have come alive as the Pirates have overcome a 14-point deficit to take a 3-point lead. ECU started the second half 1 of 7. They've made 7 of their last 9 shots to take the first lead.
The crowd made a difference. I really believe that. They got crazy as the momentum started to build for East Carolina. And we got a 3-point game. Jabari Craig's playing very well. He's got 3 fouls. They're going to take him out right now for a moment, I believe. Yeah, he's going to get a blow.
Not a bad foul, though.
No.
To send Phillips to the line to shoot 1-and-1. He's 0 for 3 from the line. Radford has missed 9 free throws already in the game. They're 15 of 24, 62.5%.
Jabari Craig's right back in, and you got to be careful. Ed Play Jr. on the right side, you got to block out. This young man's not a great free throw shooter. An offensive rebound would be huge for the Highlanders.
Phillips knocks it down. The senior from Jackson, Mississippi.
Radford has pressed a little bit tonight. We'll see if they do if this goes in.
Phillips tied his career high against Ohio State, 12 points on Sunday. But he's 1 for 5 from the line here, just 3 points. Pirates 2-point lead and the basketball.
Out of timeouts, Coach Lebo has normally gone to something inside.
Was looking for Craig off the backdoor screen. Barkley calling for the screen, doesn't get it. Barkley forced to shoot. Rebound Radford. Here comes Hicks.
Good defense by the Highlanders.
Barkley went for the steal, didn't get it. Phillips kicks it to Fields, back inside. Phillips over Fields, no. Craig rather.
Good job by Jabari Craig not to get his 4th foul and play good defense. Just go up straight. Fields missed. Look at Tyson on the left side of the floor. He's so much better.
Another inexperienced turnover. Jackson and Barkley just haven't played a ton of basketball together.
One-handed pass. Can't do it. Not this late in the game. You got to have 2 hands on the ball to pass it. Wouldn't have thrown it away. He had 2 hands on it.
Turnover number 13 for ECU. Radford's only turned it 9 times, just 2 in the second half. Phillips. He'll go back to the place where he doesn't love to be. They got Tyson.
6'8", 240 pounds. Randy Phillips sets the screen and rolls. He's got good hands. Got hacked as he went up to shoot it, but I'd foul him every time unless you're in foul trouble, because he's not a great free throw shooter.
So many fouls in this game for both teams, but that was just the first on Tyson.
You can see right there Mike Jones taking a deep breath. He knows there's a long way to go in this baby. He's got to make smart decisions, and he normally does.
1 of 2 for Phillips this time. 1-point game. Barkley chose to pull it out.
Good decision. Didn't have an advantage. He tried to blow by everybody. Didn't work.
Tyson lost it, recovers, missed it. Jones to Hicks.
That's a B.J. Tyson shot. That's not a bad shot. He does that often.
Hicks flips it inside again. Phillips unable to hook it home.
He got a hand on it. Polite Jr. got a hand on it, just couldn't corral it. You've got to put a body on him when anybody in a red shirt shoots it. Defense by Radford. They're not letting ECU get to the rim on the drives.
Another deep three. Williams wide left this time. Run down by Fields. We tick under 5 minutes to play. Ed Polite Jr. He's also a junior from Maryland. Carleek Jones will get a pair at the line.
Barkley got him on the bump. He is crafty with the basketball, like a yo-yo. He's not a shooter, he's a scorer. He just knows how to score.
That's the 4th personal on Barkley. The Minji's Maniacs voicing their displeasure with the call.
You got Isaac Fleming sitting on the bench, who's a very capable scorer.
Barkley and Fleming each have 4. Remember, Justin Watley also has 4. He picked up his 4 all in the first half. We haven't seen him here in the second half. Fleming back in, playing with 4 fouls.
I think they took Fleming out more for the turnovers than the fouls. Let's see if he learned from that. He's got to be smart, though.
If you're Radford, do you try to go at Fleming?
No, you're playing so well. You just run your offense. You got a lead right now. Just play. If it works out that way, it works out that way.
7 points for Carleek Jones.
You kind of get out of your personality when you do that. Now, Fleming had 40 points. Yeah, maybe.
Fleming has 7 points and 7 assists. Pressured in the backcourt. Fleming lost his dribble. Finds Barkley.
He's got Bolstad. You got to clear out and let him go.
Barkley's 3 wouldn't go. Whistle on the rebound. It's going against Cousin. Free throws for ECU. Jackson will have a 1-and-1. Cousin picks up number 2.
As you can see at the bottom of your screen there, Radford's in the double bonus. ECU just got into the bonus with the 7th on Radford. So we're shooting the rest of the way.
The next personal foul that's called will be the 40th in the game.
Welcome to early season college basketball. A bunch called last night in your game?
Wasn't too bad.
Okay, that's good.
This didn't feel like it. I was in Winston-Salem last night for a Big South team beating an ACC team. Tonight, a Big South team tries to knock off the ECU Pirates of the American Conference, the AAC. 1 of 2 at the line. We're tied at 59.
3 timeouts left each. They will be used, I would think.
3 won't go for Hicks. Jackson's given the Pirates a nice boost here off the bench in the second half.
And he also had to play inside against Bolstad when Jabari Craig went out to help on the screen, so he did a good job on that possession.
Fleming playing with 4 fouls, so is Barkley. Jackson tries the 3.
Jabari Craig's fighting, I like it. They got Bolstad on the foul, and Jabari Craig got knocked down.
There have been moments in this game where neither coach has believed what the call has been. Down the stretch we come, 59 all. You're watching American Conference basketball on ESPN. BJ Tyson with 2 of his 13. Ed Polite Jr. with allowed 2 of his 15. What a back and forth game this has been, especially in the second half. We just had the 40th foul of the night on the rebound action. It went against Radford's Darius Bolstad. It's going to send ECU to the line to shoot 1-and-1. Nate Ross, in your opinion, what is going to decide this game in the next 3 minutes and 48 seconds?
Defensive stops at either end. I was just thinking during the timeout, let's give credit to Mike Jones and his kids. This place got loud. The momentum completely went to the Pirates, and they've hung in there. But I think defensive stops or defensive mistakes. At the defensive end, it's going to change because it's been very even for basically the whole second half once East Carolina got tied up. Both teams playing exceptionally hard and playing pretty mistake-free this early in the season.
Jabari Craig, clutch free throw. 59% from the line last year, just 13 of 22, limited opportunities, but he's 3 for 3 tonight. It's a career night for Craig.
Well, I was just going to say, best I've seen him play. Not even close.
Previous career high was 6 points. That one rims out. He's got 9 tonight. 1-point game.
Polite Jr. getting a blow, but he's sitting at the table ready to come back in.
Hicks to the corner. Cousin for 3. Yes! Justin Cousin from downtown. Highlanders back up by 2.
He was 1 for 4 in that first game of the year. That's a big one. Who's got the guts to want to take the shot or make the pass?
Fleming fumbled the catch. Now drives, rejected by Ballstad. 7 to shoot for the Pirates, who will inbound from the baseline.
There's Ballstad, great play without the foul. Watch him go straight up. Time it, he's not guarding the ball. He's a secondary defender. Slaps it out of bounds.
We get a timeout with 3:04 to go. 62-60, Radford bidding for the upset on the road in Greenville. Jeff Lebo took the timeout. His team trails by 2 with 3 minutes, 4 seconds remaining.
Very calm, very cool, very collected. And look at the concentration on all 5 of those guys. He's talking about the next possession on defense or offense. He's not talking about the free throws by Jabari Craig coming up here.
ECU has made some free throws, but they don't have a field goal in nearly 5 minutes.
Radford is hung in there. The guys from the Big South are playing exceptionally well. And now Ed Play Jr.'s back in.
Let's see what ECU's confidence looks like down the stretch. 7 seconds in the shot clock here. Fleming gets it back. And a foul called before the shot on Ballstad for putting a knee into the back of Jabari Craig.
Point of emphasis is post play this year, displacing Craig. If he moves him a little bit, you're supposed to call the first foul. Watch 45. He's going to end up guarding Jabari Craig 25, right there. Craig wants to make a move. You can't stop him from doing that.
4th foul on Ballstad. 9th team foul on Radford. I think I just lip-read Mike Jones saying, I don't want to hear it.
See, I don't want an excuse is what I thought he said.
Craig, 1-and-1. Yes. He's in double figures for the first time as a Pirate.
Look at Jabari Craig's face. It's more of relief. A lot of pressure on this young man. He was not a big scorer last year.
He has gone on a whirlwind odyssey from Tucker High School in Georgia to Fishburne Military School in Waynesboro, Virginia, to Hutchinson Community College in Kansas, to Pearl River Community College in Mississippi, and now in year 2 in Greenville, North Carolina. By the way, he grew up in Toronto. Inside, Craig fell asleep defensively, and an easy 2 for Holland, and the lead for Radford is 3.
When you screen, you roll to the front of the rim. That's exactly what Radford did, and Jabari Craig got caught in the mix. Really good execution, defensive breakdown, what we just talked about.
Fleming on the dribble. Jackson on the drive, and it's stolen away. Pass picked off by Bradford. See if Radford can close this thing out on the road. Up by 3 with the ball. Carlik Jones to the corner. And they call an offensive foul. And that's even more of a stomach punch because Hicks made the shot.
Aaron Jackson, right place, right time. Watch number 10. Bingo, right there. He threw his shoulder in a little bit, but they got the call. It's like, Coach, come on, man. I just made a big play. What are you taking me out for? A little more offense on the floor. The 3 big scorers are in now. Barkley, Tyson, and Fleming.
Answer is because the Pirates haven't scored from the floor in 6 minutes. Barkley left his feet, got it to Williams.
Good defense by the guys in the red shirts. They can't.
Polite with a steal. Ed Polite Jr. Yes!
Huge play, huge play.
The steal and the score. Polite Jr. now is 17. And an illegal screen against Craig. His 4th personal foul. How about the D from Polite?
Long arm, slaps it away, and then doesn't give it up. He knows he's a good free throw shooter. He's a better finisher. No foul, bucket. I think you can play one more possession without fouling, and then you got to play the foul game. Talked about a defensive breakdown. It was a great defensive play by Polite Jr. You know Radford's going to let this thing get very low on the clock before they look at the basket.
Any foul would be 2 shots. Jones to Polite. Holland had it poked away. Fleming the steal. Fleming to the basket.
Trying to draw a foul as well, but good play.
And a technical foul was just called. We'll see on who. As if this game needed another wrinkle. With 61 seconds to go, let's take a look. What happened here after the timeout call from Jeff Lebo following the Fleming bucket?
Up. Coach Lebo, you can see, calls timeout.
Oh, Fleming is the one who threw a shot at Hicks. And I think it's going to be on Fleming, and I think that's going to disqualify him from the rest of the game.
If it is, he's done. And more importantly, shots for the Highlanders.
Fleming felt Hicks on his back. And maybe it's a double technical. Remember, Hicks earlier in the game didn't get a T. He got a flagrant.
Yep.
They're reviewing it. One point I wanted to make. Radford has had to deal with the Pirates' furious comeback, the decibel level of this crowd, and Mike Jones has basically let them play through any adversity they've experienced. He hasn't taken a single timeout in the entire game. The one that they don't have, he lost. You can only carry over 3.
Correct. That's believing in your kids. That's great confidence in your kids. And that's teaching them how to deal with adversity.
So if that's a dead ball technical.
Watch 0 in white and 5 in red after the basket. Right there they are.
If Fleming threw a little shoulder into him.
Come on, that's not a technical. That's what they called possibly, but I don't see that.
It's either nothing or a double technical in my opinion, but the double technical's big for ECU because Fleming would be done.
Exactly. And no shots if it is a double technical.
And to be honest, I think it should be a double technical. Just unnecessary extracurricular. Why even get yourself in that scenario?
In this situation, it's not
if you're Fleming, you know you're being watched. You can't flail your arms there.
You know you have a technical too.
He's got the look on his face like he's done.
They're going to call both coaches in, and Tony Green's going to talk to them, I believe. Yeah, they are.
Two good coaches, Jeff Lebo and Mike Jones, both go to the Nate Ross hair salon.
And they're both going to be shaking their heads no.
Contact, technical fouls on the play. One by East Carolina's number 0, Isaac Fleming. That will be his 5th personal foul.
Fleming's done.
Also on number 5 for the Highlanders, John Hicks. That will be his 3rd personal foul.
So interestingly, you could foul him out in any number of ways. It was either his 5th personal
or his second tee.
Or his second tee.
He'll say, Coach, I just fouled out with 5. Here it is right here. This is a great shot. Great job by our guys.
You know, if it's 5 personals, he could stay on the bench. 2 technicals, he's got to go to the locker room. Fleming will follow the rest of this game from afar.
AJ Desai just said what we just heard, double technical, double dead ball technical. No shots. You can run the baseline. It's point of interruption. Yeah, he can't go to the bench. He has to leave the floor.
You know who Fleming reminds me of? Remember an enigmatic young man named Marshall Henderson?
Marshall Henderson beat us bad many times. Oh no, for Mississippi. For Mississippi.
Ole Miss.
I remember Marshall Henderson, yes.
He was a firecracker. Very entertaining, very talented, very polarizing.
Andy Kennedy told me a story real quick. We were doing an Ole Miss game. He said, Nate, we were playing at Middle Tennessee where there was this big tunnel. He said, Nate, he might make 10 threes in a row. He might miss 10 threes in a row, or he might run down that tunnel and leave the gym. You just never know.
Coming up on Friday night, the showcase on the Banks, East Carolina and Central Connecticut State, 7 o'clock from Minji's Coliseum. One thing to mention while we have a moment, someone who would really enjoy this game, Radford's late sports information contact, Paul Hershey, who tragically passed away this summer in a car accident. Got to know Paul when he was at Coastal Carolina. He became the men's basketball contact at Radford. They wear the PH patch on the jersey. Paul, we hope you're enjoying this one wherever you are. We miss you, buddy.
And there will be an empty seat at the press table all year long in honor of Paul. Just a super young man.
Radford by 3 with the ball. Holland outside to Bradford. And now Jones, the freshman, guarded by Tyson, the senior. Carleek Jones kicks it. Bradford got it! What a big shot by Christian Bradford.
Ended the shot clock. Big shot, little shot fake. Got Sean Williams in the air and then created some space.
ECU has to score here. Williams can't hit it. Rebound Holland. That might do it. Pirates need to foul. Jones will go to the line to shoot 2. Tyson picks up his second. 20 seconds on the clock. And many of the Minji's Maniacs headed to the exits.
Great shot by Bradford. Sean Williams just went for the shot fake. Then Bradford got a little separation, and then Sean Williams tried to answer back at the other end. It's a good shot, just didn't go in.
Carleek Jones, the Big South Freshman of the Week for his performances against Georgia Southwestern and Ohio State.
I remember with about 8 minutes to go, we had a shot of Mike Jones just taking a deep breath, very calm, thinking, I got to make a lot of decisions down the stretch. He did, and his kids played exceptionally well down the stretch.
Timeout called by Mike Jones. He's not related to Carleek, except he's probably going to adopt him as his son. Clutch free throws for Jones, the freshman. And it's an 8-point game with 20 seconds remaining.
Well, we said earlier when this place was going nuts and East Carolina was making a heck of a comeback that this is a great learning experience for Radford no matter what. It's a much better learning experience when they dealt with the crowd, they dealt with the comeback. and they're going to go home back to Radford, Virginia tonight on that bus with a W. That's a huge plus for their confidence. And speaking of confidence, your boy Craig played a great basketball game tonight. He's going to come out of this game obviously disappointed, but with great confidence as well.
These two schools played 4 years in a row, 2000, 2001, 2002, and 2003. ECU won the last 3 meetings. Radford last beat East Carolina December 2nd, 2000. A 7-point win. They're up by 8 with time ticking away. Tyson for 3. Yes. 5-point game. 10 seconds to go. Timeout. Jeff Lebo.
You cannot let the ball get in bounds. You have to steal it or you have to foul.
Hey, by the way, Radford has made its last 4 field goal attempts to try to close this game out. One clutch shot after another.
But man's going over something that they've practiced 100 times already this year, your press offense.
Tyson now with 16 after that bucket. One of 4 Pirates in double figures. For Radford, only Ed Polite Jr. in double digits with 17, but 10 Highlanders have scored, and they balance it out. Jones with 9. 7 apiece for Bradford, Tanner, and Fields. 6 for Cousin and Holland. 5 for Hicks.
That's the one guy you don't want to catch it. Maybe the best shooter on this basketball team hasn't missed a free throw yet this year.
Tanner was 86% a season ago.
I mean, anybody but him catches it.
The Radford Highlanders are a couple made free throws away from salting away this victory on the road in Greenville.
Want to be a great shooter? Watch this release. It's quick and it's exactly the same every single time.
Cousin replaces Tanner. Tanner with 9 points off the bench. Williams' 3 won't go. And Radford wins the game. 73-66 the final. Mike Jones gets the victory on the road. As the Pirates slip to 1-1, the Highlanders fall in Columbus on Sunday, bounce back with a Wednesday night win in North Carolina.
They fought a really good East Carolina team. They fought an amazing crowd, and they fought Uncle Mo, momentum. And they beat all 3 of them tonight. Good win on the road for the Big South and for Radford.
Radford had a 14-point lead that slipped away. ECU led by as many as 3 in the second half, but what a job by Mike Jones, Ed Polite Jr., Carleague Jones, and these Radford Highlanders. Back-to-back nights, the Big South Conference gets a huge road win. Nate Ross counted us in several times. This was fun. Radford back in action next week against Elon. ECU has to recover quickly. They play Central Connecticut State at 7 p.m. on Friday night. It was a privilege and a pleasure to bring it to you, and we appreciate you being with us. For Nate Ross and our entire crew, Evan Lepler saying good night from Greenville, where Radford takes down East Carolina 73-66. Good night, everybody.